We're doing the mailbag segment right now, so if you got questions, go ahead and throw it in the comment section with the hashtag Lions, hashtag trade, hashtag whatever, training camp. Let us know right now so I can see your comment and answer the question. Again, you could be featured on a video. Go ahead and put a hashtag in the comment section. Before you do that, though, or while you're right it up there, go ahead and smash that like button. Let's get to 300 likes in this video. Go ahead and get her done. Let's get in here. My guy, Raw Podcast, says, I'd love to see Hendon Hooker. I want to see Hendon Hooker as well in the preseason game. Extremely important to see the development of the quarterback who I absolutely love the Lions drafting, who should have been a first-round pick, who now is going to be the Lions' backup, and it's going to be epic to see. 100%. How do you feel about J-Mo with Motor City Dan Campbell saying he's having a great offseason? Ryan Barton. And we fully expect J-Mo to have a great offseason. The reason he didn't do well, year one, injury. Year two, he was dealing with the casino and dealing with the betting and dealing with the suspension. Then he had a full time to actually work out with Jared Goff, and crazy enough, they finally got on the same page and are starting to work out. So if you're patient with the development of players, it will work out for you. Not every player develops as fast as everybody else, okay? Sometimes it takes a little bit longer for players to develop. We were very patient on this channel talking about Jared Goff, letting people know that him and Jameson Willieams will get on the same page eventually, and they did. You have to be patient with some players. Some players simply do not develop as fast as others, and that is facts. So in the comment section right now, are you happy with the development of Jameson Willieams? Do you expect him to have a big year? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Let's continue on here. Who scores first, J-Mo or Gibbs? Well, I'm going to go ahead and give it to Jahmyr Gibbs, not because of Jameson Willieams. It's because Jahmyr Gibbs he plays two positions, running back, and he catches out of the backfield. So the odds of him getting a touchdown before Jameson Willieams is going to be much higher, right? So I would definitely go Jahmyr Gibbs in that one. Question here from Sean Walsh. How do you feel about early bye week? Do you think that they'll cost us down the road? First off, there's two things I want to talk about the bye week, and if I miss your question, just repost it. It sucks having a bye week this early, and that is because your players get dinged up, and they need a rest by at least halfway through the season. That's not going to happen in this case. With that said, it sucks to have a bye week right there. You also got the Cowboys week 6, so you can prepare for the Cowboys, in which we all want to beat. And a lot of the games are at Dome. They're not outside, so it relieves it a little bit, but yes, it is a problem, 100%. How many rushing yards do you think Gibbs will get this year? I'll go at 1,200 rushing yards. He had almost 1,000 this last year. I'll go at 1,200. It's going to be a little bit more than David Montgomery, and of course, that's just rushing. May 28, are you going to be live celebrating the 39th birthday? Probably not. I will probably not be live. I'll probably be hanging out with the family and enjoying the day with them. Let's see. Question here from Alex Lopez. Do you think Decker or McNeal are not going to get extended? Great question, Alex Lopez, and it's really hard to answer here. I don't know. I've been hearing Lions got money to lock up Alime McNeal. The Lions got the money to lock up Taylor Decker. Do they have the money to do both? Probably not. And this is why you got to draft well and you're consistently replacing, because there's just so much money to go out. But they could. It's going to be difficult. I don't think both will, but they could. They could. How is Jordan Love trying to get more money when he had one decent season after film and he still do well? That's a different story. Well, they don't have really any other options over there in Green Bay, and that's just how the market of quarterbacks work. It's the way it is. I know a lot of people get mad, well, Jared Goff got this money, but in all honesty, it's just how the quarterback market works, and Jordan Love's going to get a big contract, probably bigger than Jared Goff. And it's not, to me, that's just how the NFL works. The quarterback position, it's crazy, But that's just how it works, and there's really no other choice for Green Bay. What are you going to do, not pay him and then not have a quarterback? So it's one of those deals where you have no choice, and that's just the way of the NFL right now, and something that we're just going to have to get used to, that quarterbacks are going to get a lot of money and probably, like 20% of the cap of a whole team. Each quarterback is going to be like that unless you're really bad. The moment that the Giants quarterback got that big old $45 million contract in Daniel Jones, that's the moment that I knew that you're going to be paying a lot of money to Jared Goff, and all these other quarterbacks were going to get a ton because Daniel Jones is a terrible quarterback, and he got a boatload of money. And so any other quarterback that's looking to get a extension, they're going to look at Daniel Jones and says, first off, I'm way better than this guy, clearly, and you got to pay me. And that's just what's going to happen. It's just what's going to happen. Let's see here. Next question. Who gets more snaps, Broderick Martin or DJ Reader? DJ Reader is going to get a lot of snaps. 100% DJ Reader is going to get the most snap. I know Broderick Martin reshaped his body, but he barely played last year. DJ Reader is a starter. He'll be out there snap one. Okay, so it's going to absolutely be DJ Reader. He is the guy to help stop the run and double team, and so players like Aiden Hutchinson, Alime McNeal, and Marcus Davenport have one-on-one opportunities. So he's going to be a space eater, and that's what he's good for, and that's what we need him for. Let me know in the comment section right now, who do you think will get more snaps? Broderick Martin, put BR for Broderick Martin, or DJ Reader, DJ for DJ Reader. Blow up the comments with your thoughts. Next question here from Ted Cheney. This is a make or break year for which players? Offensive, defensive, special teams. I love this, Ted Cheney. Great question here. Make or break year, I will say for this year, when I look at it, I think it's a make or break year for, you could do Jameson Willieams, right? I think that could be a player. I think he's going to make it. I don't think he's going to break. I think he's definitely going to make it because we've seen the progress. For a wide receiver, that would be that position right there. Tight end, James Mitchell. He may not make the team, but he better do it this year. It's a make or break year for James Mitchell because he hasn't done anything up to this point. So he's got to do something right there. Colby Sorsdale. I know that Colby Sorsdale was drafted last year, but it really didn't look good. He has a lot of development to do. And if he doesn't make progress after last year, there's a reason we drafted Giovanni Manu, right? There's a reason that we drafted the guard later in the draft. It's because we don't have that position locked up. So I think it is a make or break year for him. Legitimately, it could be. Let's see. So let's go to the defense there for a make or break year. How about we'll go in and go Marcus Davenport, right? Even though we just got this guy, a lot of question marks with him. A lot of question marks. Not a lot of people are happy with that signing, so he's got to come in here and make a difference. He's got to prove pretty much everybody wrong on that one. Emmanuel Mosley, make or break year for Emmanuel Mosley. We signed him last year thinking that he's going to be our number one. He gets injured, and now we do a veteran minimum deal, and there's a lot of other corners ahead of him on the depth chart. It's a make or break year. So that's what it's all about. Let's see. Everyone was tripping about getting an edge like it did Houston, Houston and Davenport's and the guy from the other league that he leaded in sacks. We just got to see what they can do, right? We don't know what they can do. Just because you're good in the UFL or the CFL or whatever, those lower leagues, doesn't mean you're going to be good in the NFL. Marcus Davenport, the same can be the opposite, right? He barely played last year. Doesn't mean he's going to be terrible this year. So it's just a wait-and-see approach. I think with a lot of these players, it's just a kind of a wait-and-see approach. And that's really it. Another question here from Bo Booth, not counting returners. Who is the most important special teams player? Jalen Reeves, maybe a Rodrigo, or somebody else. Love this question, special teams with the not returners. How about this? How about go with C.J. Moore? We just signed back. Now, before C.J. Moore got suspended last year, he was integral towards special teams, and he was doing a lot of the fakes because he's fast. And so I think he could be if you're not talking about a kick returner or a kicker or anything like that, CJ Moore could be the difference maker for those fourth downs, and those fourth downs are integral. Remember, we went on fourth down and Jalen Reeves-Maybin, the Kansas City Chiefs game, get the first down. We get that touchdown drive and that drive. So it's moves like that that can change, or it can win you a game or it can lose you a game. So I'll go with CJ Moore because they like him a lot too, because you sign a guy after he was suspended for a year. Clearly they liked him. Did you hear anything about Green Bay players say they're not going to put in the work this year? I did not hear about that. 9 drinks. Good question here. I not going to put in 100% this year. That's crazy if that's the case. I haven't heard it. But if that's true, that's terrible. That's awful. I don't know if it's true. In your opinion, which game is the most important game this year for you? For just me. Important game. Not okay, so I'm going to take my emotions out of this question. Emotionally, I would say the Dallas Cowboys, but that's not the case. The most important game is the second to last game of the year, and that's San Francisco. If we win that game, we could have home field advantage throughout the playoffs. If we lose this game, we could be like the number 3 or number 4 seed again. Okay, so to removing emotion out of it, you have to win that game. You have to. If you want playoffs in Ford Field, in San Francisco, they're going to have a big win record. We got to win that game because that literally could be the difference between hosting a playoff game and traveling a couple weeks later back to San Francisco. So it has to be that game. It has to be. We're not looking past the NFC North, but we got to look at the big teams in the NFC now because that's the type of team that we are. Question from Alex Lopez. Would you be fine with the Lions trading a first-round pick for a player before the trade deadline? Well, Alex, it really depends on the player. It depends on the situation and where we're at. Do I want to trade a first-round pick? Absolutely not. But say, I don't know, we're 7-0, and there's a piece, say there's a pass rusher out there. I'm just taking a guess on a player. There's a top-end pass rusher that a team's trying to get rid of, and say like a Crosby, right? Not saying Max Crosby is going to be traded or anything like that, but there's a player like that that could take you over the top. I would do it for like a Max Crosby. Other than that, I'm not going to probably do it because I do believe you got to keep your draft picks, and it's important to continually to have those first-round picks because that's how you make your team consistently good. We don't want to be good for 1 year. We want to be consistently good with a franchise that's consistently winning. You got to consistently draft correctly. That's the whole point. Next question here. Do you see the Lions sweeping any division this year? Oh, good question. Tough. I'd love for them to sweep the NFC North. I don't think that's going to be the case. I'm going to say no. I don't think we're going to sweep a whole division. It's going to be, we got a tough schedule, and there's a lot of good teams. So I'll say no for it, even though we did it last year. We did it to the AFC West, right? We swept the West. The Raiders, Kansas City Chiefs, the Chargers, and who's the other team in the West? I feel like we swept them as well. So, no, let's see. Who will start at edge? Marcus Davenport or James Houston? Thank you, Raw Podcast, for that question. That's going to be James Houston. Or not, sorry, that's going to be Marcus Davenport, not James Houston. Marcus Davenport, they signed him in as an edge, and he's going to be the number 2 guy. That's just the way that it is, folks. Again, go ahead and hit that like button. Let's get the 300 likes in this video. With that said, I appreciate everybody throwing those questions